Greetings, all! Today, we will be examining the uncommon water flying type Pokemon Cramorant, the Gulp Pokémon. While they might look more comical than they do an actual threat, Cramorant are interesting birds that can make good use of their awkward forms and eating habits to make a statement in any encounter.
Cramorant have bodies covered in bright blue feathers, with a crest of white feathers around the back of their neck and the front of their torso, almost looking like a bib, with a small set of tail feathers and large black webbed feet. They have a head crest of blue feathers that curves towards the back of their head, with a large, long yellow beak and bright green eyes with pinprick black pupils. Cramorant are rather simple birds that spend much of their life near bodies of water where they can acquire fish to dine on, with Arrokuda being a favorite of theirs. While they might not look like it, these birds are actually quite powerful for their size and can use their wings and large bill to knock out weaker opponents in a single blow if they feel up to it, which can make them a hazard near younger Pokemon. However, this surprising strength is also coupled with a noteworthy lack of real intelligence among the species, to the point where they may occasionally forget who they're even fighting in the middle of a battle, confusing themselves and others in the process. Thankfully, what they lack in intelligence, they more than make up for in loyalty, as they never forget individuals, trainers especially, that they trust and care for. This makes forming a bond with them imperative to making the most use of them in battle, and getting them to obey commands without otherwise forgetting who they are supposed to be listening to. However, it is noted that these creatures are very protective of their food and will attack anything and anyone that tries to steal food from them, even if that means their own trainer, and thus can be a handful to deal with if they are more of a glutton than usual and demand a great deal of food in order to be satiated.
It is further noted that the gluttonous nature of these creatures can occasionally bite back at them, as while they're usually able to swallow fish like Arrokuda whole, if they are distracted, otherwise try to multitask while eating and doing something else, they have a habit of, well, getting their food lodged in their throat.
This is directly connected to the signature ability Gulp Missile and can lead to one of two outcomes. If they use either a surf or dive attack, when they come back to the surface and have more than half of their maximum HP left, they will appear once again in the gulping form with an Arrokuda stuck in their throat from getting too greedy while trying to attack at the same time. If they are struck with an attack while they have the fish crammed in the throat, the force of the blow will trigger the esophageal muscles and cause these creatures to vomit the fish out like a rocket, impacting the opposition extremely hard and dealing damage equal to 25% of their maximum HP, while lowering the defense stat from the massive impact. However, if they are below 50% of their maximum HP, Cramorant will become desperate and, in confusion, will end up with something else in its throat, commonly a Pikachu, which they cannot swallow whole at all. This places them in their gorging form, and while it has the same general effect in terms of damage dealt if they are struck in this state, these choking but otherwise somehow alright birds will irritate the startled stiff Pikachu long enough that it will cause them to discharge electricity when they strike an opponent, inflicting paralysis in addition to dealing damage. This can make these otherwise unassuming birds into potential hazards worth looking out for, and definitely not worth overlooking if they have access to surf or dive for attacks. Aside from this, in examining their stats, it can be stated that these birds are by themselves not the strongest of fighters and do not have a lot to offer in the way of serious offense, though they are still decently fast and can take special hits decently well, so the base speed stat is above average for a fully evolved water-type Pokemon, and the base special defense stat is above average for a fully evolved flying and water-type Pokemon, helping to give them at least a mild chance of surviving harsh blows in combat.
Though you might not think too much of them at first glance, Cramorant are unique birds that can make good use of their bad eating habits to render themselves a notable force in friendly fights. You may have to keep your head down to avoid getting whacked if they choke on their food, but so long as you can stay out of the line of fire, you should be good to work with them.
Just do yourself a favor and keep your distance when they are trying to eat. The fact that they may viciously peck at you until you leave them to feed in peace is one thing, but startle them and you will likely get hit with a bone-shattering blast that may or may not also leave you with a brittle frame or a nasty shock you won't soon recover from.
Thank you all for watching this video. It is always a pleasure to help teach others about the world of Pokemon and the many facets of it that exist in both the world we call home and the world they call home. If you'd like, please leave a comment and subscribe and ring the bell to this channel to get regular updates on content and anything else that might be going on. You can find me and my written work on DeviantArt under the name Utitus, and be informed of information and content uploads on my Twitter page and my Patreon page. Donations are always welcome. Always remember, The world of Pokemon is a vast and varied place, and there's no telling what secrets might be hiding just around the corner. So keep watch, stay vigilant, and always prepare for the unexpected. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.